Okay, guys, let's see if we can get this to work today. Been having some issues, so hopefully it will be okay. So, for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Diana, and I have a Facebook group, and I was having issues with video there, so I decided to try YouTube. So let's see if we can have some luck over here. Today we are making a double-sided pocket that also has two pockets on each side. You'll see in a second. And it has a hinge. So with the hinge, you can either just hinge it onto the page itself or sew it into the journal. And so that's kind of neat. You can pick which way you want to do it. Now, first off, you need to start off with a piece of cardstock, okay? And your cardstock is going to be 4 inches by 5 inches. Okay, that's the size I'm making it because I use, for my journals, I use 8.5 and 11 copy paper folded in half, and that is my journal page. So you can adjust the size for what size journal you're doing. So I think I already cut this at 4.5. Let's see, 4.5. Seems a little wide. Let me check this. 4. These numbers are so hard to see. Yeah, it's 4.5, but we need to do it by 5. So I'm going to come over here and just cut the rest of that off. Okay. Now, I made the mistake. The person that I saw do this did it differently, and I did not like the way it came out. So I'm adjusting mine, and why I put my cutter away, I don't know. I still need it. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of tea dyed, coffee dyed, whatever you want to use. It can be white as well, paper, and you want it to be at least 5 inches long, and it's going to be 1.5 inches wide. So, okay, we got 1.5 here. Okay. And this is going to be for the hinge. I'm going to need that cutter again in a second, but until then, we're going to put it aside. Now this, you're going to take and you're going to fold it in half, which is, I find tedious. They're small. So you're going to fold it right down the middle. Try to get it as close together as possible. Okay. And I'm going to use my bone folder here. Not too shabby. Okay. Now you're going to take your pocket, well, which will end up being a pocket, and you only want to hinge one side. It doesn't matter which side it is. You just want to hinge one. So you're only going to glue 1/2 of this. Okay. So, oh, my glue. It never fails. There we go. 10 tons of glue. It either comes out too much or too little. I do not even want close to that much of glue. Don't do what I just did. You guys, you know you see for real with me because you see all my goofs. Okay. So I've got a good amount of that off. Okay. So now I'm going to line it up with the top here. Hope you all can see that. Okay, so line it up and fold it over. Okay. So then you have this side. So if you want to sew it in your journal, you can sew it through here, or you can put it onto the page, which I'll show you guys later. So I've got some extra here I need to cut off. So I'm going to go to the side and cut off that. Okay. And I did not do too straight of that because it's kind of still wet. And these, I need to get a new pair of cutter bees because mine, I think, have seen their last days. Let's try this pair. Well, I cut onto the thing, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. That was perfect. Okay. So now we have our hinge, okay? Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get a book page. And you are going to glue. I'm using Scotch Create glue stick because I don't want to have all kinds of little rivets from the wet glue. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and get the whole thing, the corners the most. Okay. And over the hinge as well. On this side anyway. Okay, and then I'm going to take it, get my book page, and I'm going to line up. You know what? These are not even the right book pages because, no, we'll use them anyway. Okay, I had some bigger ones. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and lay it down on the book page. I had some wider ones that would have had writing all the way across, but I accidentally got the wrong one. But it's not going to matter. Okay, so then you're going to cut off the excess book page. Now you could try doing the whole measuring thing, and while that probably works for some people, it doesn't work for me. I am not good at measuring. It always seems to come out wrong. So I would much rather do it like this. And you don't want to cut that hinge. Ooh, good deal. Okay. Now you're going to take your hinge and you're going to push it to the other side because you don't want to glue that down. And you're going to take another book page. Okay. And this came up a little bit, so I'm going to glue that down. I'm not sure if I'm... Okay. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. But you got to remember to put your book hinge on the other side because you do not want to get that glued. Okay. I usually film during the day, and it's about 7 o'clock in the evening here in California, which is really odd for me to be doing at this time of night, but whatever works. Okay, then you get your other side, and I want to make sure my writing is going in the same direction. And you're going to put this one down. Okay. And I'm going to cut it from this angle here so I don't get... Okay. Remember, do not cut your book hinge. Okay, we did good. Okay, so now we've got our two sides, and if you've got paper sticking over, you can just correct it. No big deal. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is you're going to take cardstock of your choice, and I'm using cardstock for my current journal. It's actually not, I printed on cardstock. So these are going to be the pockets that are going to go on here. So you want one of them to be, well, actually you need 2 at 3 inches, okay? So I already cut them. Let's see. I knew I was going to mess this up. Okay, well, I should have put the hinge here. Well, this is my first time making this, guys, so we're going to just do it so the flowers are going to be sideways. That's all. Okay. So, let's see. What am I going to do? Am I going to have to adjust now? Okay. So, you need it so it can go across. So, let's see. This is a 5, and this would have been, how did I do that? Okay. That's right. That's 5 inches. And this is, okay, that's the problem. I somehow cut this wrong, and we can correct that easily enough. Okay, it's supposed to be 4 inches by 5 inches, okay? And you know what? I'm not trusting this cutter to do this, so I'm going to do it a different way. And that is with my guillotine. Okay. So this is 4 inches right here. I don't want to mess it up a second time. This is new for me, this guillotine, and I am still not very good at finding where what is on here. Yay! Okay, that was great. And I gotta tell you, this thing is pretty good. Dress My Craft is the brand. It was fairly cheap, and it cuts terrific. So if anyone needs one, I highly recommend that. I got it because I have a lot of old book pages and different types of paper that those other cutters just shred it up and down the side, and there's nothing you can do. It's just done. So now they're the right size. Okay, so now we need our paper cutter because we need to trim these to 3 inches. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. I want my flowers to be, let's see, actually, how can I do this? Sorry, you guys, this is my, like I said, my first time using this. So, no, I'm just gonna have to cut it like this. I mean, this is my first time making this one, so it's hit and miss here. I'm a little bit turned around in what I wanted to do. Okay, so see, this is going to be your back pocket. Okay. And this doesn't even look. Oh, we'll have to cut some of that off. That's okay. Okay, so this is going to be the back pocket. Okay, that's your first pocket. And then the next one, you're going to want to make, well, let's do this one too. This one has to be 3 inches as well. Okay. Not bad. Okay. Now then, your next pocket, you want to be 1.5 inches. Okay, so there's 1 inch and there's the half. Okay. And then this one also needs to be 1.5 inches, which it is. Okay. But we need to cut them down to 4. So 4 is going to be right here. I think I want to get some of that green off because I have plans for that. So I'm going to cut that here. And crossing our fingers, this should be right. So here's your first pocket, and there is the second. Okay, there's one. And then this one, I have to cut off as well. It needs to be 4. Okay. Let's check this. I didn't plan out where my flowers were very well, but it's still very pretty. Okay. That works. Okay, so now we got to glue these on. And that we're going to use regular glue for. I'm going to try not to do a ton here because I don't want it coming out all over. And I already just messed it up. I forgot it's a pocket. I tell you, I'm not doing very good, guys. That's why I haven't been. I hope that's the right side. Thank goodness it is. Let's get that glue off of there so it doesn't stick. And we still save the day. Okay. Now we're going to put, and I forgot 2 other steps. Okay. Sorry, you guys. This is turning into a nightmare. But this is what you get when you're doing your first time real crafting. And I'm sure you guys, I am not the only one. And so you'll have to excuse me. I usually like doing stuff that I've done 3 or 4 times before I make a video. But I just decided to go ahead with this one. And there's extra things that I didn't do. Okay. So first things first. Okay. And that is, I want to distress this with some ink. Okay, so we're just going to do this a little bit. It's kind of dark, but it still shows. I promise you guys, this will get better. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. You see these people on YouTube that make these perfect videos. That's not going to be me because I'm just like, I don't know. It's just not going to be me, guys. So you don't have to do this step at all. If you're not somebody who likes to ink, you can just completely forget about it. Just leave it out. I think it pops more and it just gives it that vintage look, which is what I always like. So it's all a matter of taste. Okay, now this is going to have staggered pockets. So we need to make, what you're going to do, let's see. Okay, this side's going to be up. So I want this side up, so I'm actually going to turn it around, okay, when I punch it. And it's not going to punch right because my puncher is a Fiskars little guy here, and it does not work. I'm going to get a new one, but I have no idea which one is really good to get. But this guy does not want to punch through ever. So it punches kind of halfway through. And then I just look at where the marks are and try to get it with one. Wow, I almost didn't want to do one. Okay, now let's see if I can get it to go through over here correctly. Be really nice if it would. And it doesn't. Oh, okay. There. So now you have your little thing here for your pocket and your little one here. And before I forget, we're going to ink this. Okay. And also ink this. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other one. So the part you want to be in the front, you're going to turn upside down. Okay. But this time I'm going to do it for the opposite. I'm going to do it up here. Okay. Oh, it'd be so nice if it would just go through. But it's not gonna. So yeah, I just want to throw this thing in the trash. I do not like Fiskars products at all. And I stay away from them at all possible because I've thrown away quite a few punches. They just stopped working like out of nowhere, and they were like brand new. So, but they weren't new enough to take back. Come on. Gosh, I'm telling you. All right, and then we're gonna. Glad that's over with. Oh, I hate that thing. Okay. So, let me get rid of that ugly thing. Let's try this again, guys. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have a lot of, I don't know, I may have to end up doing this over. I didn't realize how much shadowing I had. Okay, this time we only want to glue the very edge. Because we're a pocket. Okay. A little too much here. I'm going to just, okay. And make sure you get that down to match. And if you have a little that goes over, you're better off going this way because you don't want it too close to that hinge. Okay? Which I do have some that's off just a tad, which I'll cut off after it dries. Okay. Now then, we're going to go with the next pocket, which is going to be this one. Okay. And going to glue just the very edge of this. Okay, and then, yeah, that's right. I'm going to glue this down as well. Okay, so we got that already. Okay, then you're going to flip it over. And we're going to glue this again, just the edge. Get a little too much, just take it off. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing here. Okay, you don't want to be right up on that hinge. Get away from it just a little bit. Okay, I'll put a book on that and it should take out that little. Okay, and then we're going to do our last one. Okay. You want to do the same thing. Don't go too close to that hinge, but make sure you're lined up across the bottom. Okay. And then if you've got any glue, just take it off. Okay. So you can see that the little thing for your pocket is on the opposite side. Okay, and I've got extra here. I'm trying to get this glue out so I can cut this off because it's sticking out. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to get this back out and go back over that just a little bit. Actually go around the whole thing. Oops. Just so if you have any white, you can get that off. Okay, and then I'm also, it's a little bit off, but before I do that, we're going to round the top. You don't have to round the top. The lady I learned it from, she did round the top, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And she also did the hinge side. So, okay. And I'm going to go ahead and go all the way around with my ink here. Okay. Okay, so then we've got 2 pockets on this side and 2 pockets on this side. And actually, for all my for all my little mistakes, it didn't come out too bad. Okay, now to decorate. Okay, I decided that I'm going to use some butterflies. And let's see. I'm going to use this butterfly here. And then I have some little numbers I'm going to put there. And then we have this little, I don't know what this is. It's not really felt, but let's see how we can make this work. I think just like that. I like that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put it kitty corner, I guess you call it, whatever. Okay. And the number, just going to put it under there just a tad. Okay. And I put a little bling in the middle of there. And then I'm just going to glue this down right about there. Oh, I really like that. Okay, you could do here, but there's really not a point of doing there because I don't know which ones of these I'm going to use yet. These are too big, but when you put your tags in here, that's what's going to happen. So I wouldn't really mess with this. But I am going to put this here because I think I want to make sure this glue doesn't go too far. All right, that's really pretty. Okay, so now we can do the other side. And you don't have to do both sides if you don't want to. I'm going to do them pretty much the same, I decided. Except I need to get my little... I need to glue this little guy in here. Ugh, they're so tiny. Upside down, not good. Oh my gosh. Okay. We need the... And I can't find them. My little... Okay, let's see if I can get it to let go this time. Yay. Okay. Boy, this has been crazy. I think I'm more comfortable on Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to glue this here, the opposite of what I did over there. Get the little number tag. And I'm going to put that underneath the butterfly just a tad. Okay, and then we're going to glue our flower on. Okay, right about there. All right. Wow, I'm really happy with how this came out. So when you're done, now let me find a piece of, okay, this one's really dark, so I'm not going to ever be using it in my journal, but this is the 8.5 by 11 regular 20-pound copy paper. And so your choice here is you can take it and just glue the hinge down here like this, and you can always cover it in some way if you want to. So you can open it and you've got it like this. Or when you're sewing in your journal, you could just sew it in like that. And it would be the same thing, except it would be sewed in the actual journal. So my journal is already sewed together, so I'm going to just glue mine like this, and I don't know what I'll do with this part. I'll figure something out. The hinge is the same colors as the coffee dyed paper, so it doesn't really make that huge of a thing. And so yeah, the lady that originally made this, she had her hinge on top of the book page, and I didn't like the way it looked. So that's why when I did it, I hinged it underneath so that you know, it didn't show. I mean, you can see the shadow of it, but when just having that one piece there, it just kind of like didn't set well with me. So yeah, so here we go. We've got both of our sides have pockets, and just go ahead and put whatever you decide that you want in there. And it might be a good idea to take your bone folder or a scissors, something, and just make sure that your glue did not go too far over. I didn't do it up on this one. I want to make sure you have enough room in that pocket. So there you go. So we've got a two-sided hinge pocket with 2 pockets each. And hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, give me a like. I'd appreciate it. And hopefully next time it will run a little bit smoother. All right. Thanks, guys. Till next